Crash is back again, except this time on the Switch. How did he fare out? Let's find out. What's up guys, Canadian Guy A here, and back once again with a review of Crash Bandicoot Sane Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch. I want to say a special thank you to Activision for allowing me for an early review copy of this awesome game and giving me the chance to give my thoughts on it. So what are we waiting for? Let's get right into it. So I'm dumping my old review system that I had because, well, overall I kind of found it boring. So I'm just going to give you the overall rating at the end. So we are straight to the point. Okay, so first off, I think the biggest thing that people want to know is how is the graphics? And I am happy to tell you that the graphics are still great, but are of course reduced because of the Switch being a less powerful console. And you know what? That's an okay trade-off, because now we can play Crash Bandicoot anywhere. But still, let's show some details. Now, some levels have compromises that, well, make sense, where there is obviously a loss of detail, but it's not so glaring. Sadly, however, especially levels with a lot of vegetation, you're going to see a much larger loss that does seem quite noticeable. But then, there are some levels where it actually took me a few seconds to even see what the difference was. In fact, there was a few times while I was editing my previous video where I showed a deeper depth at the graphics comparison between the PS4 and the Switch where I could not tell the difference. However, there is one glaring issue that is pretty much across all three games, and that's the shadows. Some of the shadows in a bright, high contrast setting is, well, not the best. Some areas it's smoother, but some areas it's very, very rough. But here's the thing about the graphics. When in handheld mode, most of the issues that I stated almost all but go away. In handheld mode, it just all looks super smooth, except for the shadows. Shadows are still kind of goofy. Now, let's go over the controls. This was a bit of a learning experience for me because for some reason in my mind, A is always jump, but on the Switch, A is on the right, and the controls for Crash has been exactly ported over position. So that means B is now jump, and I had some problems getting used to it, but that's just me. I give a word of warning to strictly Nintendo users that have games where A is a jump, because it might take a few levels before you can get used to it. But one game over and 6 lives later, and I got it worked out perfectly. The controls are still tight and still replicates the original PlayStation 4 version. I tried my hand at Stormy Ascent and I was able to get back to the dreaded last 3 birds like I did in my previous stream, so it still feels good muscle memory wise. But I think the biggest thing that I have to commend is the fact that I have not encountered a single laggy moment or a frame rate drop. See, sometimes with games like Breath of the Wild, when an explosion would happen, the game would get frame rate drops and slow down. Not this game, however. It ran perfectly. The hitboxes are exactly the same too, for better or for worse. But also, the little cheesy bugs have stuck around. But one other detail that they fixed for this game that was not fixed in the PlayStation 4 so far was the loading times. The loading times for this game is absolutely astounding. It's almost half the amount that PlayStation has, and I am honestly amazed that they were able to get it down that quickly. So overall, this is an excellent port. Toys for Bob has been showing how strong of a company they are now that they are on different projects other than Skylanders. This is a solid port, and I recommend the game to any Switch user that wants to play Crash anywhere. From the bus ride home to the hour-long bathroom break you took because you thought eating at Taco Bell was a good idea. Sure, your colon may feel like it's being gutted, but at least you can distract yourself with Crash. I give it an 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. Cue the extra.